In this video, I'm conducting an interview with Tony and Maggie Diamantidis to discuss the Loutraki Grand Prix 2024 Backgammon Tournament. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy this video. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Please let me know what you think in the comments below and what you'd like to see in future videos so I can work on that. My book, Backgammon Backgame Strategies, is available. There's a link in the description to where you can get it. And if you're interested in lessons, please contact me via email. My email address is in the description. Again, in this video, it's my pleasure to have Tony and Maggie. Thank you for joining me and welcome.
Hey, Alex, thanks for having us from beautiful Greece.
Thank you, Alex. Glad to talk to you.
My pleasure. And as you said, you're joining us from Greece. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're on the south coast of Athens right now.
Very good. Very good. I've never been to Greece, but I know it's beautiful.
Well, you're coming to the tournament, right?
I would love to. Unfortunately, it's difficult for me with my work and family commitments, but hopefully when my kids get older, I'll be able to travel some more. How's the weather out there nowadays?
Well, it's beautiful. It's been in the mid 60s. It's starting for spring is starting now, and the flowers are blooming, and it's fantastically beautiful right now.
Great, great. I'm happy to hear about that and excited to discuss the Loutraki tournament. If I may, I'd like to start by getting to know a little bit about you. How did the two of you first start playing backgammon?
So I've been playing backgammon all my life. I was kind of very active in the 70s and 80s in San Francisco before Maggie and I met. And, you know, I'm one of those few people remaining in the world that has played both McGrill and Nick and Knack and all those people from the old days, as well as Mochi and Michi and the people from today. So Maggie started playing with me sort of casually before we moved to Greece. But then a few years ago, during COVID, we got into it a little bit more, and then Maggie got serious, and you know, we started playing in tournaments. We went to the UBC in Marbella a couple of years ago, which was I think, your first international tournament.
Yeah, but there wasn't a tournament for me. It was just a UBC contender tournament. The first international tournament I went to was the 8th Merit international tournament in North Cyprus, which was, I think, in 2021. That was the first time I competed in an international tournament.
That's great. And I know, Maggie, you've gotten serious and you won the Women's World Championship. Congratulations.
Yeah, first time in Monte Carlo, one and done. So
that's great.
Well, it's kind of exciting. This was the first year that the women's, what was called the women's tournament, or the ladies tournament, became actually a sanctioned world championship. And it was extraordinary to watch Maggie. I think I was more excited than her when she won the tournament. This was kind of like a, you know, once a world champion, always a world champion. So that's a big deal.
Yeah, but Tony placed 10th in the main event. So that was no small feat either. So
yes, congratulations. That's fantastic. One of my well, I have many initiatives. Part of, I guess, the main goal for my channel is to promote backgammon. And in this video, we're promoting the tournament. But I have some other newer initiatives, like I'm trying to get more people to play backgammon, and I'm focusing on underrepresented demographics. And one of them is women. So I'm trying to get more women to play the game. So I'm very happy to hear about that. And I'd love to have you on again, Maggie, if you like, for another video to kind of encourage that. It would be my pleasure.
Oh, thank you very much, Alex. I would love the opportunity to do that.
And along the same lines, before you go on, I just wanted to say that Mark Olson has actually been very clear on women being underrepresented, and he's making a great effort starting last year and a greater effort this year to include women, streaming. And Karen Davis from the US is going to be in Monte Carlo this year, and we're doing quite a few things specifically for women's backgammon. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I know Mark does a lot of work with Backgammon Galaxy, and Arda Findikoglu, who's working with at this tournament, does an outstanding job. And I spoke with Karen Davis last week about some of the initiatives, so we're working on some things too. So that's fantastic. So today we're going to talk about the Loutraki Grand Prix, and this is the second year. Tell us about, let's start by how it started last year. Tell us about that, please.
So Stefanos, who has been kind of like the #1 man in promoting backgammon in Greece, was encouraged to talk to Arda, who's of course the #1 tournament director in the world. And Arda thought that Arda is a great lover of Greece and the Greek culture. He comes from Turkey, as you probably know, and he's met with us many times in Cyprus and other places. So he immediately agreed to do the tournament with Stefanos, and they got a sponsor in the town of Loutraki, who is the Loutraki Casino club, and got some added prize money. So last year in March, after probably about 25 years of an international tournament being run in Greece, they held this tournament, which had over 100 participants in the main event. Great success, just kind of like an exciting event.
Yeah, it was great. It was a lot. There was some great heavy hitters coming in last year, and hopefully we'll have a bunch more coming this year.
That's fantastic. It's very uncommon to have over 100 people playing in a tournament their first time ever. So congratulations. And I know there were people that came from all over the world. It wasn't just people from Greece, right?
Right. So last year we had a great presence from the U.S. And from Japan. We had
Akiko was here, Michi was here. Then, of course, from Germany we had Dirk Schiemann, and
from the U.S. we had Victor Ashkenazi, Antoinette was here, Herb Roman was here, and a few of the other.
Yeah, several people from the U.S. And then we had from several from Germany, and I'm trying to think of the
yeah. So yeah, I can tell you because I wrote it down actually for this purpose. So we had Tobias Hellweg from Germany, Dirk Schiemann, Fernando Bracconi from Italy. Fernando is the guy that just won the Los Angeles tournament.
Yes.
Great guy and a great player. And of course, Jorgen Granstedt, who is the only 3-time world champion, was there. And many of those people and many more will be in Loutraki this year.
That's fantastic. I know it's a big attraction when you have so many top players and international players. How were you able to get so many of these top players and big names to attend the first time? You know, you haven't had a history of this tournament. It's the first time, so I'm very impressed.
I think Arda's name carries a lot of weight when Arda is organizing an international tournament in a really beautiful location. It's not that difficult for the Europeans to get to Greece, but we did have a fair number of Americans that made the trip. I think that's one of the keys. What do you think, Tony?
Well, I think that the Greeks are particularly hospitable. There is a word in Greek called philoxenia, which literally means being friends of strangers. And every time we have people here in Greece for this tournament, and even at our home here that sort of we have opened to the backgammon world, Maggie calls it the backgammon refugee camp,
yeah,
where we've had pretty much every one who's anyone in backgammon come and stay with us and play and have fun and do magic.
Yeah, we've had everybody here. I have
anyway, so I think that hospitality is a key thing, and everyone who comes here feels at home. And Maggie is about to showcase something.
One of my prizes I have is a board.
You can see it for some.
Can't see the board?
No, I don't know.
Can you see this, Alex?
I can't. So let's.
Okay. Anyway, it's a backgammon board that I got from Jonah Seawald, and I have all the many of the Grandmasters have signed it when they make their pilgrimage to our backgammon camp here. And I have a board with Mochi and Mark Olson, and this one has Dirk and Victor, Michi, Kima, Jonah, Elias, Sebastian. So I have a collection of backgammon boards that I have the stars come to our house, and we wine them and dine them, and they get to sign my board.
Wow, that's fantastic. I know I've spoken with Arda before, and one of his top priorities when running a tournament is hospitality. So He's known for that. The Greeks are known for that. So that's fantastic. So let's see. Now the tournament is held in Loutraki, which is a place I was not aware of, but I understand it's not too far from Athens. Is that correct?
Right. So first of all, the tournament is being held on April 17th to the 21st. That's a Thursday through a Sunday. Loutraki is a beachfront town about an hour away from the town of Athens, about 65 miles from Athens, 75 miles from the Athens airport. And it's a extraordinary area. In the summer is full of tourists and people going to the beach and so on. And it's very near many exciting and interesting, kind of like Greek sites to see. The closest one, which is an extraordinary one, is a canal called the Corinth Canal, which is kind of like the Panama Canal that was built about 150 years ago. And it's like less than a 10-minute drive from the venue, and it's something worth seeing. So, in fact, people from the tournament last year had tours arranged, and they went and saw that. And there's many other things around there. So,
well, there's the ancient city of Corinth, which is a biblical city, and there's the ancient city, and then there's the modern city, and it's very near to the venue. So that was also an amazing to go meet the modern day Corinthians. It's a great trip, and it's a wonderful place, Corinth.
That's fantastic. I know a lot of people like to go to destinations at tournaments in places they've never been to be able to go sightseeing and do all of these things. So oftentimes I'm sure there are players that come either a few days early or stay a few days later to be able to do all of these things. So that's fantastic. And I know I see the picture of it looks like the city of Loutraki with the beach behind you. That's from the website. So it looks like it's a beautiful place. The weather is nice. There's lots to do there. So that's great. So how did you select the city of Loutraki rather than like the major city like Athens?
Greece has very few sort of like large resorts, specifically very few casinos. So Loutraki is one of only about, I don't know, a half a dozen or less casinos in the entire country. And it's there is one in Athens on a mountaintop, but this one being at the beachfront was an ideal location. And the managers or owners of the casino seemed very open to working with Stefanos and Arda, and they kind of lured them in to hold the tournament in their place. And of course, the advantages, whether it's in Cyprus or anywhere else where it's a casino, the backgammon players who come have an opportunity to also visit the casino and either deposit some money or take some of the casino's money back home with them.
Yeah, that's always fun. And I understand the casino is sponsoring it as well with some added prize money. Is that correct?
That's right. So the casino is adding $10,000 to the prize money. And they did that last year, and they're doing it this year again. They have special rates for their hotel rooms, which are very nice with great views of the sea in the area.
A great spa.
And a great spa and, all the related amenities. And it's just a kind of like, it's a cool place, and it's early spring, so it's already warm enough. It's kind of like, during the days in the 20s. At night, it gets a little cooler. You don't really want to swim. The water is still cold, but
we did last year.
But we did last year.
So good. I think we can see a lot of these things on the website. So I wanted to share that. Let me pull this. Let me pull this up here so we can kind of go through it. Here we go. Are you able to see that now?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. So this is the website, and we'll go through it. It's just beautiful. It looks like such a beautiful place. Is that the picture of the casino and the resort there?
That's right. That's the picture of the resort. Obviously, you can see this enormous beach in front of it that goes on way past what this picture shows. There are many, many restaurants and tavernas, which is kind of like, the local eating and drinking spots along the coast. And last year when we were there, I think in the four days we were there, we must have visited at least 4 or 5 different restaurants for lunch or dinner with everyone from abroad. We had dinner with Steven Nelson from Hong Kong, with Antoinette, and Victor from the US, with Kimon from Germany, with Michi, with Sebastian. So it was a great thing. And Greek food is extraordinary. And we just had kind of the time of our lives collectively, not just us. Obviously, we brag because we're now, we live in Greece, but it's fantastic for everybody.
And they're also very proud to be able to host this tournament. That's a great thing for the Greeks.
Yes, absolutely. And I know, is that Kimon Papachristopoulos?
Yeah, from Germany, right? Because of
Oh,
course,
I thought he's originally from Greece. Is that correct? Or
of Greek descent. He was born in Germany, but his family is Greek.
oh, okay. So that's nice to be able to go there. So good. Let's see. We saw this, and then we're going to pause this. So here's its second international backgammon championship. 10,000 euros added prize for the winners. We have the venue, which we discussed, and this is the contact information. I'm going to put a link in the description to this website so people can go here and download the flyer. There's a beautiful video you'll be able to watch, and this is just scrolling down another beautiful picture. This looks like it's nighttime. Is that right?
Of course. Yeah, this is just an amazing place. I mean, there's definitely, it's one of those casinos where a lot of money has been put in by, I think the investors were originally from Ireland that built this venue.
My people.
Yeah, Maggie's people. Maggie is of Irish descent too.
My name is.
And I don't know who runs it now, but I think it's one of those that have definitely invested a lot of money to make this a beautiful place.
Good. And this is some more pictures like you were talking about. The rooms are beautiful. This is a lounge or some sort of area. And then this is a conference center on the right, right?
The conference center is where the games are being played is incredible. It's huge, it's clean, it's light, it's lit, kind of like everyone feels very comfortable. And in fact, I'm gonna, please remind me, I want to tell you about a very special event that we have helped organize that's going to happen at that venue during the tournament.
Great. Yeah, tell us what's going to happen there.
So last year, Michi gave a presentation, like a seminar to participants of the tournament. And this year, Maggie and I had an idea that we ran through the organizers, and they loved it. And it's the following. Dirk Schiemann, who is, of course, a Grandmaster and the captain of the German backgammon team, and Sebastian Wilkinson, who is a great player, also a Grandmaster, and on the English national backgammon team, are going to play an exhibition 7-point match on Saturday, the 20th of April, which will be, of course, streamed worldwide and broadcast live on the site. And what's unique about it, well, other than the fact that these are two extraordinary players, is that they will be commenting on their own moves
and their own decisions
at every move. So this is kind of like a learning session where, every time, and they're both very good. Both Dirk and Seb, I know personally, are extraordinary in explaining kind of the value and the reasoning behind every move they make. And I think that's probably one of the best, if not the best, learning tools for the rest of us, kind of like the rest of us mere mortals, to learn from giants like them.
Inside the minds of the masters.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. I know Dirk Schiemann and I know Sebastian Wilkinson. I've had Dirk on my channel, and he's now doing some videos on his YouTube channel where he's doing exactly that, going through the matches and talking about it, and it's fantastic. I've had him on my Backgammon with Grandmasters series, which is basically the same thing. We play against XG, and the player, or the Grandmaster in this case, discusses all their thought process. So it's a great learning experience. People really like it. So congratulations on that. I'm very excited to hear about that.
Yeah, and both Dirk and Seb were very kind and immediately jumped at the idea, and I'm grateful to them. And I must tell you, this is many variations of this have happened in the past, but knowing how well each of those two guys explains the game, and I've had the opportunity through this many years to talk and listen and learn from the very best. These two individuals to me kind of stick out as the best, to visualize and explain each and every position better than most people I've ever known in my life.
So that's going to be great. There were some other pictures I wanted to just mention here, like here that looks like there's a restaurant. It looks beautiful, and in the center, the image of the casino. So it's just a beautiful venue. And let's see, if we go down a little further, the recommended accommodations, there are different types of rooms, single, double, triple. Seems to be very affordable as compared to a lot of these other places. So that's good. I know travel can be difficult for some people with the expenses, but these prices are very reasonable for accommodations. And then this is the route you were talking about. So this is Athens, and the airport is to the east of Athens, and then Loutraki is to the west.
Right, and for your viewers, just to know, we will have a few ourselves and a few of our friends coming from Athens. And in fact, a few people will be staying at our place prior to the tournament, and we will drive them to the venue, and we'll probably bring back a lot more than we drive there when the tournament is over. In fact, we're holding an event similar to what we did last year at our place, which is called Margaritaville. That's our Backgammon refugee camp, where we will honor Arda and his team, who always do a great job, as well as the participants, and kind of have a great celebration and a good time. That's the day after the tournament, and many of our friends from abroad are going to come, and obviously everyone is invited.
Great. I'm happy to hear that. So this talks a little bit about Loutraki and how you can get here. So this is the team, as you mentioned, Arda Findikolu from Turkey, organizer and director, and the other was here, Stefanos Heraklias. Okay, very good. And he's the founder and chairman of Mind Sports since 2014. He's organized backgammon tournaments, and also chess and bridge. And he's the president of the Greek Backgammon Federation. I've never met him, but I've met Arda, which, here, Arda, yeah, everyone knows him. He's an outstanding director and organizer from Turkey. So you have some of the best in the world. And here's the program. So we could go through this. Looks like it starts on Wednesday. There's the registration. It looks like things always start in the afternoon, so it gives people a chance to sleep in if they're from out of town. Did you want to go through this, or would you like me to read it myself?
We'll be happy to. So obviously the Wednesday the 17th is just a registration day with a couple of side events, including mini jackpots and seniors and DMP. Then the main event really starts on Thursday with the open and of course second chance later on, and then on Friday the 19th everything resumes, and then you have the doubles starting in the evening.
I'm trying to find a partner.
Yeah, that's not true.
You're not going to be partners?
I have already. She is my partner. I will not let the world champion play with anybody else. That's part of the penance she has to pay for being married to me. So, and on Saturday the 20th, everything continues, and actually where it says 2030 gameplay resumes, what's going to happen, this is going to be delayed by about a half hour or so, and right there from 8 o'clock, which is 2020 sort of military time, Sebastian and Dirk are going to have their event, which, as I said, will be streamed, and of course we will post everything in the next few days, so everyone knows where it is, when it is, and the time is of course great for Europe. It's not too bad for the US. It'll be relatively early in the morning, like 10 o'clock in the morning West Coast, but it'll be midday and early afternoon in the Midwest and East Coast. So we hope that many people will watch it. We think it's something that cannot be missed. It's kind of like a very unique event, and I'm very excited that these two guys who are sort of like at the top of their game will be sharing their knowledge with us.
That's great. That's great. I know streaming is very popular. I've helped out with the streaming. Can you tell us a little bit about the streaming that's going on? Arda does an outstanding job.
Yeah, so Arda has been working with a man from Hungary who I think you've probably met. His name is Mate Feher.
Yes.
Has done many events, including last year's Loutraki.
He did California.
He did California, not last year, but the year before.
Yeah.
And Mate is an expert, and he's kind of a perfectionist like Arda. So they will be streaming many of the matches, one or two at a time. I just wanted to have a shout out for Bill Riles, whose San Antonio event was not only extraordinary, but for the first time ever, he streamed 5 matches together all the time, which for us backgammon players, which was kind of like, candy. And we couldn't stop watching because there was always something to watch. And I was just talking to Mark Olson the other day, who of course is working with Bill for the Monte Carlo tournament this coming in a few months. And I said to him, Mark, get Bill to stream 5 matches for your event as well. So he told me he would try to get Bill to do that. We won't be doing that many. And last year in Monte Carlo, the women's final was not streamed, which is unfortunate, and Mark will never have that happen again. But this year, I think there'll be many more matches streamed in Monte Carlo, and Loutraki will have a minimum of 1 being streamed at all times. Of course, the one that I mentioned with Sebastian and Dirk will be streamed, and also they'll be showing the PRs and all that, and it's a great thing. I think Mate is amazing, and the audience will be very pleased with what they'll see on the stream as this happens.
Well, we'll also have them in front of a live audience.
Yes.
Wow. So that's going to be great. I know Mate Feher has his own YouTube channel with thousands of videos. He's done it for a very long time, and very good production. And he works with the World Championship. And Bill and Tara are 2 of my good friends. And I say they are the king and queen of streaming because of all the things that you mentioned. And they did just have another outstanding tournament. So great. I know you're working with a lot of outstanding people. Let's continue. Just some notes here. And then there are the fees. So these are the different events. There's the Masters, which is similar to the Open or Championship level in the United States, and then the intermediate level. So there's the entry fee and the registration fee. And then the other events are the larger super jackpots, the doubles, consultations, speed gammon, seniors, and DMP. So what is the age limit for the seniors?
It's the same as everywhere. I believe it's 60, but I'm not 100% sure. I know that I qualify for sure, and I know that Maggie doesn't qualify for sure.
Yes,
That's all I can tell you.
So good. There's some different events that you can play in, and then the match lengths. Of course, with the Masters, those are the longest for the main, and then there's a second chance bracket and a last chance bracket, and then the intermediates are lower. And then you have the super jackpot, doubles consultation, and others. And this is the prizes. So this is what we were talking about, the 10,000 extra euros, right? So tell us about that, please.
So they'll, as usual with these tournaments, when there is added money, they distributed to the different events. So as you can see, there is a total added value of $6,000 in the Masters category titles, and then the rest are distributed also, appropriately, as you can see in the different categories. 1,000 in the intermediate, and then additional for the doubles and so on. I think that just in talking to the people who sort of make their living playing the backgammon circuit, both last year's event and this year's event seem to be very worthwhile in terms of the prize distribution, and I know with Arda as the organizer, kind of like the way the pool is shared is very well thought through and very fair.
Yes, I know the added prize money that it attracts a lot of people, so that's fantastic. It's very difficult to get sponsors like that, but the casino that's sponsoring it is fantastic. So thank you to that. Oh, do you have other sponsors, or would you like to say something more about the casino sponsor?
There are a couple of other sponsors, including, we have our own business operations that are actually helping to sponsor this event. We have not added our organization.
Okay, so that's not on here.
Right yet. Just it will happen later. But kind of like this is the kind of thing, and I think it's the same thing with other big events like Monte Carlo. In fact, here in Europe, it is not unusual for several sponsors. Like Gibraltar just ended 2 weeks ago, and there must have been 8 or 10 significant sponsors. And I think that as this tournament in Loutraki progresses, there'll be many more sponsors and therefore much more prize money for the participants.
So that's fantastic. Thank you very much for finding those sponsors, and thank you to the sponsors themselves, of course, for their support. That's always very much appreciated. Of course, I think that's one of my goals is to try to get more people to come to backgammon tournaments, and sponsorships really help. So I'm happy to hear that, and I'd love to have you either help or give some recommendations on finding other sponsors for tournaments elsewhere. Okay, so it looks like we went through everything on the website, so let me go ahead and stop this. What else? I feel like we went through a lot about the tournament. What else? Is there anything else that we missed that you wanted to discuss?
Well, what I want to say, and I'll let Maggie speak last, I think that coming to Greece, for those who have been here before, they always want to come back. And for those who haven't been here, they should come and experience both the beauty of the country and the Greek seas, but also the hospitality of the Greek people. So I highly recommend it. And also the Backgammon family that is here from people from the US and Europe are extraordinary people. Every single person that has been in this tournament, from Victor Ashkenazi in the US to Tobias Helweg and Sebastian and others in Europe. These are people that you can sort of rub shoulders with and become a better player, but also enjoy the stories that these people have about the game, and the trials and tribulations, and that terrible double six that came in at exactly the wrong time to ruin the day.
It's always a 6-1. It's always a 6-1.
So that's my view on it, Maggie. I don't know, just what do you think?
Well, last year's event was amazing. My entree into the backgammon world, what happened is it opened up world travel, and that was what a great excuse to go to different locations on the planet. For me, it was awesome, just awesome. It's clear that this is a game, and it's fun, and it's competitive, and it's exciting. It's not political. It's not a downer. It's just so refreshing in the middle of this craziness in the world right now, to be able to go to these locations and meet the same friendly and familiar faces, the people that inspire you and and you follow on backgammon. That to me, that this was the greatest sort of semi-retirement hobby that I could have imagined. But also, Tim Cross is coming this year, by the way, from the UK. He was trying to get here last year, and he got derailed, but yeah. So
I also want you to know, I want your viewers to know that not only is Maggie the first sanctioned women's world champion. She's also the first backgammon player, man or woman, to have played and be undefeated in a backgammon match in Antarctica. Where
Really?
ago, and with a great audience of well-dressed penguins, Maggie retained her title, and in the white continent, and we have all the proof. We have the proof. So there.
Are there a lot of people that play backgammon in Antarctica?
There are two.
Honestly, yeah. Well, I was actually, for the first time in my life, I was giving lessons on the boat.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of doctors, Alex, on the boat that we were traveling on, and they wanted to find out. So
Maggie was quite popular at this expedition.
I'm too much of a warm climate person to go there.
So are we, and that's why we live in Greece.
I'm from Wisconsin.
But this was an extraordinary adventure for us, and we couldn't not take advantage of the opportunity and have Maggie show her skills in Antarctica. And I think this was the first time ever that a backgammon match certainly with a world champion was played in Antarctica.
Yeah,
that's great. Maybe in the future you could have it streamed.
Maybe we can have an annual. That's what I'm hoping.
She ruffled the feathers of a bunch of penguins, Alex. I gotta tell you, I mean, it's just kind of.
Okay, that's fantastic. So we're expanding backgammon to all 7 continents. So yeah. Wonderful. Either of you have any final comments before we conclude?
I just want to say to everyone watching this, come to Greece. It will be unforgettable. You will not regret it. Don't miss the opportunity. Last year would have been better than this year, and this year is the best year, and it'll be better than next year. So please come.
Great. Well, thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much to Maggie and Tony Diamantidis talking about the Loutraki Grand Prix Tournament 2024 in Loutraki, Greece, not far from Athens. And it's going to be April 17th through the 21st in 2024 at the Club Hotel Casino. So definitely, I really appreciate your time. It's been a pleasure to have you on. I tell people running this channel has given me an opportunity to meet people from all over the world, and I always like to have the opportunity to possibly meet them in person. I had the pleasure of meeting both of you in person in Los Angeles, so I hope to see you again soon. I wish you much success in this tournament and with all of your other ventures, and we'll go ahead and conclude the video. Thank you to the viewers for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Please let me know what you think in the comments below and what you'd like to see in future videos so I can work on that. Again, my book, Backgammon, Backgame Strategies, is available. There's a link in the description to where you can get it. And if you're interested in lessons, please contact me via email. My email address is in the description. I look forward to seeing everyone in future videos. And until then, keep rolling your dice.